My name is Elise Rosario, and I am the project lead of Her Testimony, Our Story. Funny enough, Beyonce's album Cowboy Carter, the soundtrack of my summer, honestly, on repeat. And I also work with my aunt, and my aunt had the CD in her car, and that's what plays automatically. So when she would drive me into work, like with her, like that was also on. So it literally just was like all I listened to this summer, and I knew I wanted to kind of do something similar to what she was doing, but with dance. So originally, I wanted to actually use her music and like kind of do the whole album as like a dance performance. But then I forgot, like, but then like copyright exists and like rights and stuff. And like, I don't personally know Queen Bee, so I can't be like, hey, leave me the rights. Um, so I ended up brainstorming with one of my professors of theater history, because I was like, I kind of also want to tie. I think I kind of want to tie this like as a history project, and like learning about the history of black women in America. And then I also, the semester I thought about it last semester, I ended up taking a class called Intro to African American Women's History, and it was so interesting. And honestly, the whole project is kind of based off of the that course and what I learned and the readings and stuff. So after taking that class, I was like, oh, I really want to dive deeper into this. And so I kind of mixed my two ideas into this Going project. Definitely, well, it's about African American women, and I identify as a Black woman. And so, kind of just diving more into my roots, I also identify as woman. And so I feel like that's kind of how it's personal to me, because I am a Black woman. And so I think it was, especially for me, because I'm also Latina. And so I feel like most of my life has been focused on my Latina culture, that I haven't really explored much of my like the Afro part of my Afro Latina roots. So I kind of wanted to dive deeper into that. It's just exciting because this is my first thing I've ever choreographed, like real, like actual, like not as a joke. And it's been really fun. And it's been really interesting. Kind of, I'm so used to not being the boss, so like now when the questions are like being asked to me and they're like, it's up to you, I'm like, oh well, oh okay, then what do I no, like don't come, no guys, like I just need y'all's help because y'all know more than me. Like I don't know what to do. Like I just want to do this little thing, this little ditty thing, this little dancey dance. And wow, like it is so much on me and what I want to do, which is takes a lot to get used to. The whole purpose of my project is to put a spotlight on African American women by going through the history. I want people to learn about what it was like for women, because like we discuss a lot about black culture, black empowerment, blackness, and like as a race, meaning all genders. But I think that there's actually not that much research into women and like non-binary. I feel like it's mostly focused on male, like cis male. And so I am very interested in like, okay, what about the life, like how was it for other people? What was it like for these women whose name isn't in the textbook that you get in school, and shine a light on them. And then I would also say a rose, which is funny because that is a big motif in, because like the flower of like growth and like nurturing and stuff, but also having its thorns and having its dark sides. Like I think my project highlights both the good and the bad of this specific demographic of people throughout history. So I am focusing on women of color throughout American history, and I kind of take the audience through. I start like right before the colonies, like the 13 colonies, and I start off with like an indigenous American who was considered mulatto, which is like half indigenous, half black, and that's what the colonialists called them at the time, up to nowadays, and kind of highlighting a woman that exemplifies each era of thinking that has been brought up. Because as time goes on, obviously women have they change the way they identify themselves and the way they behave. So kind of noticing those changes in culture, and tracing them through like kind of in a biographical approach. I hope you learned something. I Again, my goal is to shed light on these people, so I really just hope people take like leave with no, like learning about someone that they never learned about, and like kind of really thinking about the impact that like the hegemonic society like has affected black women throughout history.